Heartbreaking video reveals an 88-year-old veteran can't afford to retire. They thought the video was going to be a simple "thank you for your service" moment. But when the camera panned down to his hand shaking over a pile of overdue bills, the comment section went silent. This is not just a story about an 88-year-old veteran. It is about how retirement can fail quietly, one small decision at a time. Before we begin, tell us where you're tuning in from and don't forget to subscribe. Because tomorrow, we've saved something extra special for you. His name was Harold Wynn. 88 years old. Korean War era. The kind of man who still stood up straight when someone said the word flag. The kind of man who said "I'm fine" even when he clearly was not. He worked the early shift at a small hardware store, not because he loved the job, but because he loved the routine. He liked greeting the contractors who came in at sunrise. He liked helping young dads pick paint colors like it was the most important decision of their week. But the truth was, Harold was still working because he had to. That viral video started with a teenager holding a phone in the parking lot, whispering like he had discovered something. He zoomed in on Harold loading heavy bags of mulch into a customer's truck. Harold's back hunched, his hands trembling, his face tight like he was pushing through pain. The kid's caption was simple: "Why is this man still working at 88? That question hit hard because it did not feel rare. It felt familiar. Harold lived in a small rented duplex on the edge of town. Nothing fancy. Just clean, quiet, and affordable. A few framed photos on the wall. One of him in uniform. One of his late wife, Marie, smiling with her head tilted like she was still teasing him. Marie had passed 7 years earlier. And when she died, Harold's life got quieter, and then it got expensive. The bills came faster. The groceries cost more. His blood pressure medicine doubled. The car needed repairs. The rent went up. And Harold did what a lot of proud people do. He made it work. Quietly. No complaints. No asking for help. No telling his daughter the full truth. His daughter, Renee, lived an hour away. She called every Sunday. She visited once a month. Harold always answered the same way. "I'm all right, baby. I'm all right." But all right started looking like this. Skipping meals so the lights stayed on. Cutting pills in half to stretch the prescription. Wearing the same work boots until the soles split. The setup is heartbreaking, but here is the part that matters. Harold's situation did not happen overnight. It happened through one mistake, then another, then a consequence that nobody warned him would last forever. The mistake. Harold thought Social Security worked like a switch. You hit a certain age, you turn it on, and the check shows up and life calms down. So he claimed early. Not because he wanted to. Because he felt pressured. When he was in his early 60s, the factory where he worked downsized. Harold was proud, but he was not naive. He saw the writing on the wall. His knees were worse. Marie's health was shaky. The mortgage still had years left. A buddy told him, "File as soon as you can. You earned it." So he did. He locked in a smaller check for life, and he did not realize how permanent that decision was going to be. Then came the second part of the mistake. Harold never built a real retirement cushion. No pension. No serious savings. Just small contributions here and there, mostly interrupted by emergencies. A roof repair. A hospital bill. A grandkid who needed help with tuition. A car that died at the worst time. Harold always did what he thought a man was supposed to do. He handled it. But handling it meant draining every backup plan he had. Then the third part of the mistake showed up wearing a friendly smile. A phone call. Harold got a call from someone who sounded professional. Calm. Confident. The kind of voice that makes you sit up straighter. They said they were calling about his Medicare coverage and a benefits update. They knew his name. They knew his address. They knew enough to sound real. They told him he needed to confirm information to avoid a disruption. Harold hesitated. He was not stupid, but he was tired. He was stressed. He had bills on the table. And the caller used one line that destroys people. This is time sensitive. So Harold confirmed details he should not have confirmed. And once that door opened, the rest of the nightmare walked right in. The consequence. It started small. A charge on his card that he did not recognize. Harold assumed it was a mistake. Then another. Then a letter saying his insurance premium had changed. Then another letter. Then a denial. Then a new bill. Harold spent hours on hold, listening to music that sounded cheerful while his stomach stayed tight the whole time. He went to the pharmacy one morning and the technician said, "Your copay is higher today." Harold blinked like he did not understand. He said, "How much?" She told him. Harold stood there, staring at the card reader, doing mental math like his life depended on it, because it did. He paid. Barely. Then he called his daughter and lied. He said, "I'm just tired lately." Renee heard it in his voice. She drove down that weekend. When she walked into his house, she saw it immediately. The unopened letters. The pile of envelopes. The final notice on top. Harold tried to hide it with a joke. "Look at me, I'm popular. Everybody writing me love letters." Renee did not laugh. She said, "Daddy, sit down." Harold Saturday. His shoulders dropped. And that was the moment the tough old soldier looked like an exhausted old man. He whispered, "I can't stop working." Renee asked why. Harold told her everything. The early claim. The low monthly check. The rising costs. The fraud. The coverage confusion. The bills. Then he said the sentence that broke her. "I thought I did everything right." That is the real pain for a lot of retirees. They are not reckless. They are not lazy. They are just operating on old assumptions in a new economy. In Harold's case, the numbers did not work anymore. His social security check was not enough to cover rent, utilities, food, and healthcare. And because he claimed early, that smaller check followed him into his late 80s like a shadow. The scam made it worse, but it was not the only problem. The bigger problem was that Harold never had a system. No clear budget. No benefits audit. No annual review. Just survival. Then the video happened. The teenager posted it. People shared it. Someone recognized the hardware store. Then the comments turned into a storm. Some people were kind. Some were cruel. Some were angry at the world. But one thing became clear. Harold was not alone. The fix. Renee did not let the story end in heartbreak. She treated her father's retirement like a case file. She opened every envelope. She wrote everything down. She made a list of what was real, what was error, and what was fraud. Then she did 5 moves that changed everything. Move 1. She locked down his identity and accounts. New cards. New passwords. Alerts. Credit monitoring. Any automatic payments reviewed and cleaned up. Move 2. She went through his benefits like a detective. Not assumptions. Facts. What he receives. What he qualifies for. What he never applied for. What he might be missing. Move 3. She set a simple budget that matched reality. Not a dream budget. Not of maybe this month budget. A real one. Move 4. She got Harold help, even though he hated the idea. This part is important. Pride is expensive. Harold did not want to ask for assistance. He thought it meant weakness. Renee framed it differently. "Daddy, you already paid. You paid with years. You paid with service. You paid with your body. This is not charity. This is your money coming back to you. That was the first time Harold's face softened. Move 5. She rebuilt his monthly breathing room. Cut unnecessary costs, negotiated what could be negotiated, and made sure his essentials were covered first. Rent, utilities, food, medication. Everything else came after. Did this solve everything overnight? No. But it stopped the bleeding. And then something happened that surprised Harold. The hardware store owner saw the video too. He called Harold into the office and said, "I'm not letting you work yourself into the ground." Harold tried to argue. The owner stopped him and said, "You can still come in a few days a week if you want the routine. But you are done lifting heavy stuff. You are done proving anything." Harold walked out of the office with tears in his eyes and acted like it was allergies. That is the thing about real fixes. They are not always dramatic. Sometimes the fix is structure. Sometimes the fix is asking for help. Sometimes the fix is letting go of pride. The never again checklist. If you are watching this and you have a parent, a grandparent, or yourself approaching retirement, here is the never again checklist from Harold's case file. Never claim without understanding what early claiming does to your check for life. Never assume your benefit will keep up with inflation and healthcare costs. Never ignore benefit reviews. Audit your situation at least once a year. Never trust a phone call asking you to confirm personal information, even if they sound official. Never let pride stop you from asking for help when the math stops working. Never wait until the pile of letters becomes a crisis. Open them. Track them. Act early. And one more. Never assume you are the only one struggling. Harold thought he was alone. That is why he hid it. But the truth is, millions of people are silently doing the same thing, working longer than they should, not because they want to, but because they are scared. If this story touched something in you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone you love. And comment one word for Harold. Respect. Because if an 88-year-old veteran is still lifting mulch just to survive, that is not just his story. That is our warning.